discussions, comparative studies, and field experience practices. In order to support the teaching and learning activities, we have 4 complexes of campuses. Campus 1, located at Jalan Dr. Cipto, Jalan Lontar. This campus consists of representative and modern buildings for teaching and learning activities. This campus consists of central building, main building, student activity center, library, graduate program building, as well as a representative auditorium meeting hall for national class concerts and international seminars. Campus 2, located at Jalan Sriwijaya. This campus has a hotel available for both students and public in general, as well as a large meeting room for teacher professional training programs and various other large-scale meetings. Campus 3, located at Jalan Bendan Duo. This campus has a building for students' practices, especially mechanical and electrical engineering department students. This campus supports various activities to increase electrical, mechanical, and architecture skills. Campus 4, located at Jalan Gajah. This campus has a teaching learning building complex and sports centers including basketball, badminton, futsal, and other athletic sports activities. This campus also has a dormitory building provided for students, as well as a high school laboratory school, which was established by the Universitas PGRI Semarang. Why do you have to choose UPGRIS as a place to study? We realize the importance of international relations to connect the discourse currently developing in the international world. This is where we establish a collaboration to open up opportunities for career later through students and lecture exchanges, credit transfer and double degree program, joint internship and research, and publication with our reputable university partners. We believe that in our fast-paced and competitive world, there are basic competencies every young generation has to possess, namely excellence and distinction. Excellence in either emotional and spiritual intelligence and the ability to retain the personality as a cultured human being. Please join UPGRIS.
The Philippine Civil Service Commission, or CSC, conferred DIMSU with certificates of the National Apiculture Research Training and Development Institute, the Sericulture Research and Development Institute, the North La Union Campus, the Mid La Union Campus, the South La Union Campus, and the Open University System. True to its goal of transforming human resources into productive, self-reliant citizens and responsible leaders, DIMSU takes pride in its commitment in fulfilling its vital role in the country's national development.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think we have introduction of it. I'm sorry. It's on my side. Okay, again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the International Lecture Series in English Education Studies Program of Languages Department, organized by the Joint Partnership of Universitas PGRI Semarang and Don Mariano Marcos Memorial School University. I am Santara Gandhi B. Adventula, your host and moderator for this session. So this afternoon, we are going to hear two amazing lectures on the topic of systematic functional grammar and ASEAN English. I know that like me, you are also invited to hear and listen from our esteemed lecturers. But before we start, may I remind everyone of the following that have this podcast. One is to please keep your microphone on mute so not to distract both of the lecturer and the participants. Also, we are encouraging you to keep your cameras open so that this live stream, this lecture will be more participative. And third, you can keep notes of your questions during the lecture and submit them on the comment section that we have, and then we are going to answer them after both of the lecture. So let us now open the program with the holidays to be followed by the Philippine National Anthem and the National Anthem of Indonesia. Please give your attention to the ABC.
Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all you creatures here below. Even in the valley, even in the storm, praise His name forevermore. Praise God. Praise
Again, good afternoon, everyone, and I welcome you again to this international lecture series in English Education Studies program, the language department organized by the joint partnership of PGRI Semarang and Autonoriano Marcos Memorial State University. There will be like four questions, and we are going to have the first two for today. But before we meet the first lecture, let us first hear a message from the Dean of the Faculty of Languages and Arts Education of Universitas PGRI Semarang, Dr. Nasdin Eder. Sir, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Excuse me, Ma'am Sintara, probably from DIMSU will give opening speech. Dr. Hadwell, please.
So I think we are going to hear later from Sir. Let's start first with Dr. Harata. A message from the Director of Internationalization and Linkages of San Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, Dr. Jesus Rafael B. Harata. Sir Harata, are you hearing us? Okay, I think Sir Harata is not still in. I'll check on the technicalities later. So I guess we can move forward then to the first lecture for today, and then we will be having the meeting after the first lecture. Will that be okay? Ma'am, I think it is. So although we are very excited to hear from here from the representative of okay, Mr. Harata is already here. Okay. So again, may I call on the spotlight to give a short message, Dr. Rafael, Jesus Rafael Harata, the Director for Internationalization and Linkages from Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University. Sir Harata, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Yeah, Ma'am Sintara, is this the
Sir,
opening?
your audio is a bit weak.
Okay, could you hear me? Could you hear me?
You're a bit weak, but yes, we can hear you, sir.
I'll just use a headset. Sorry. All right. Could you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
we can hear you.
Okay. Ma'am Sinara, sorry, I just came in. Is this for the opening remarks?
Oh, ya sudah.
I think your microphone is on mute again. Um, Renata? I think we are experiencing some difficulties with the connection right now. So, uh, Sir Renata, may we call you on the spotlight for the opening remarks?
Okay. Sorry. I'm so sorry because I just came in. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ma'am Sintara, for the introduction, and I would also like to welcome and greet our friends from the Universitas PGRI Semarang, our partner in Indonesia. And DIMSU is actually very happy and honored and privileged to have been given the opportunity to be with our Indonesian and our Filipino friends for this international collaborative effort involving the Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University and Universitas PGRI Semarang in Indonesia. Our occasion today is yet another example of how DIMSU, our university in the Philippines, is enhancing its international reputation and visibility through the strong trust of our internationalization and linkaging strategy framework, and by expanding our engagements, leading to exceptional global opportunities for cross-border mobility, just like this. We believe that developing institutional linkages, such as this international lecture series, can actually enrich everybody who are involved, those students, the faculty members, the teachers who are involved in this project. So thank you, UPGRIS. Thank you, Dr. Noor, for always maintaining the professional relationships with DIMSU. And we thank you for believing in our world-class capabilities for instruction, research, and community services. Our Filipino students, and I'm sure also the Indonesian students, will have the opportunity, will have the best opportunity to learn English communication subjects the best way that we could, no? And I wish for a fruitful deliberations, collaborations during this international lecture series in communication and languages. Magandang hapon, magandang tanghali. UPGRIS and DIMSU, mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Okay, that's one so message. Do we still have, okay, so may I now ask for a representative from UPGRIS also to give a message? Okay, sir, Dr. Edgar is here right now with us. I think he can give a message. Okay, Dr. Jasmine Edgar. Yeah. May I now call on the spotlight the Dean of the Faculty of Languages and Arts Education of Universitas PGRI Semarang, Dr. Jasmine Edgar, for a message.
Hello. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Very good afternoon to all present in this occasion. Respected Dr. Hartwell, Norman, and Mirza, Dean of Languages Department, and Mr. Jesus, yeah? Rafael, yeah, Mr. Rafael.
Sir Rafael.
Oh, Sir Rafael Pijarata, as the coordinator of International Lecture Series from Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, the Philippines. Dr. Nur Hidayat, Head of UPGRIS International Office. My colleague, Dr. Jafar Sotik, MPD, as the one of the lecture right now who would like to present his paper. Yeah, Mr. Jafar Sotik is the head of the Center for Education and Humanities Studies, yeah, of UPGRIS. Distinguished guests, my dear students and ladies and gentlemen. Well, very good afternoon. Today we all have gathered in the first session of the International Lecture Series program. The International Lecture Series program is an international lecture activity here at UPGRIS, is facilitated by International Office of UPGRIS for students by involving partner universities. One of our university is Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University in the Philippines. This program aims to develop students' insights about international perspective, yeah, at least on various current issues, especially those related to their disciplines they study, as well as providing opportunities for students to open up international collaborations and partnership, yeah, of course. Besides, this program also aims to increase the number of international activities, yeah, in the Faculty of Language and Arts Education, yeah, UPGRIS, in the framework of MKPM, yeah, we call it as MKPM. This is a program for the Ministry of Education, yeah, Merdeka Belajar Kampus Merdeka, which will also play a role in improving the quality or level of the study program accreditation later. The resource persons for this international lecture series come from two universities, namely UPGRIS and also Don Mariano, yeah, University. The speakers will present, of course, their topics according to their areas of expertise. Yeah, there would be 4 sessions. Yeah, altogether in the international lecture series, starting from today, 9th of May, and then will be continued tomorrow. Yeah, the second session on the 10th, and then the third session would be on 17th of May. And finally, the session 4, yeah, would be on May 24th. Well, in this very first session, 2 experts are going to have a presentation that, to their expertise. They are Dr. Jafar Sotik from UPGRIS with the topic Understanding Systemic Functional Grammar and its contribution to English language teaching. And of course, Dr. Hartwell from Don Mariano University with Embracing the Change, yeah, acclimatizing ASEAN Englishish. Against this, we have assembled here to know more about the topic with 2 eminent speakers lined up for today's lecture. With this brief background, I would welcome our guest, Dr. Hartwell, yeah, Dean of Languages Department of Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, and Dr. Jafar Sotik for sharing their views on this pertinent subject. Thank you very much for Dr. Hartwell as well as to Dr. Jafar Sotik. I want to also welcome our participants who have come here to this meeting. I feel honored to welcome also all the participants for taking part in this important program. I'm sure that you all will feel enriched with knowledge after completion of this event. I welcome you all again, once again, to the lecture series, and hopefully that you all will have a great time ahead, because this will be continued with 3 other series, yeah, altogether. Thank you very much. And on behalf of the Faculty of Language and Arts Education, yeah, I officially open this lecture series by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much for your attention. See you and enjoy these lectures. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Therefore, that wonderful message. So before I proceed to the lectures, now that we have heard both of the messages of the representatives from Universitas PGRI Semarang and Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, may I first call everyone to please open their camera so we can have the initial photo opportunity. Taking first. before we proceed to the lecture proper. Currently, we have 88 participants on this Zoom meeting, and I have 4 panels in here. May I ask everyone to please open your camera? I can see a few people open the camera right now. For the opener, so we can have an photo opportunity with our representative. Okay, so let's have, I think it's 6 so I'll count of 3. Please show your most beautiful smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, on the second panel, 1, 2, 3. Fourth panel, 1, 2, 3. And on the last panel, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Anyways, we are still going to have another photo opportunity later after the lecture. So before we proceed, let us also hear a message from Dr. Noor Hidayat from PGRI Semarang. So,
Thank you very much for the time for me to give my short speech on behalf of the International Office of Universitas PGRI Semarang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to extend my respect to the Dean of Faculty of Science and Humanities of DIMSU. And of course, I would also like to extend my respect to our Dean, the Dean of Faculty of Language and Science and Art of Universitas PGRI Semarang. Also, the presenters of the first episodes of lecture series today, Dr. Jafar Sodik and Dr. Hartwell, and students, lecturers attending the first sessions of the lecture series program. On behalf of UPGRIS International Office, I would like to say that we are really honored, and it's really our great privilege to have the opportunity to collaborate with DIMSU. And today, collaboration marks the 5th year of DIMSU and UPGRIS collaborations, that we have been collaborating in various different collaborations, ranging from international credit transfers, joint international students conference, lecture series, visiting lectures, and some other collaborations that we have been conducting for the last 5 years. And in the near future, this coming semester, we have already planned to have another collaborations done. That is International Credit Transfer Program, another international credit transfer program. And we plan to send 4 students to DIMSU for this coming batch of international credit transfer program, as well as our engagement at the Sea Teacher program. In this case, we plan to send our students to do teaching internships at schools in the Philippines under DIMSU co-coordinations. So that's what we have been doing for the last 5 years, and we are very happy and really honored and so privileged, yeah, to have the opportunity for those long partnership. And also, we hope that we could further develop our collaboration with some other collaborations like joint research and joint students publication, probably also in joint community service, and some other collaborations. As we have already understood that internationalization program would benefit the university either from the lecturers level, the students level, the department levels, and the faculty levels. And we have also understood that the internationalization program would, of course, improve the capacity buildings of our both university. That in the later future, that of course, internationalization program would, let's say, improve our university ranking and reputation and some other benefit of collaborations on internationalization program. And this, I think, will be also achieved by a lecture series program in which students and lecturers would directly improve the competence by participating or presenting themselves as speakers in the lecture series program. So we hope that both of our students from our universities would enjoy the lectures and some other speakers and are waiting for the next turn of their presentations. Yeah, that would be finished by end of this month. Yeah. Well, I think that's all we could say on behalf of International Program. Again, we would like to say that we are very happy that today's program marks the 5th year of DIMSU and UPGRIS internationalization collaborations program, and we are very happy to find that our 5th year collaboration program is still running very well. Yeah, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih banyak Dr. Hidayat from International Relations Office of UPGRIS. Now we want to hear also a message from Dr. Hartwell Norman Mirza, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dean to people.
A pleasant day, everyone. Ma'am Sintara, am I audible? Okay, thank you so much. So again, a pleasant day to everyone. Mabuhay. In the Philippines, we call it mabuhay. Salamat siang. I hope I pronounce it correctly.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you so much. So we are really delighted to welcome everybody, all the students, all our language professors and learners here. We have, I think, 96 and counting. We have more than 100 students, and I even required them to really attend this one. Later on, I'll give them a quiz regarding this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am really delighted to welcome you all to this magnificent event, which is the International Lecture Series in English Education Study Program. So we are glad here in the Mid La Union campus. We are in the middle. We are the heart of the university. Mid La Union campus, the Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, specifically here in the College of Arts and Sciences. So we are really happy that we are part of this education study program because nowadays, ISO accreditation, we need internationalization. And this is just a one step for us to be part of the international world, the global world, as we say it, okay? So, with this collaboration with Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, together with Universitas PGRI Semarang, we are really happy. This is quite rare because we managed to be together. And with this study program, we try to learn, we relearn, and we unlearn, okay? Concepts, things, in language education. So we take this event as an opportunity for us language teachers and English language students to deepen our knowledge and understanding of the different topics which will be discussed in different sessions later on. Let us all unravel new knowledge, gain sufficient wisdom in this endeavor. So we are really hoping for a good result with this one, and let us enjoy learning. And I believe that we should enjoy learning from each other, regardless of our race, regardless of our school, regardless of our religion, regardless of our region, regardless of our language. We learn from each other. So again, thank you so much. Maraming salamat. Assalamualaikum. Terima kasih.
Mambuhay.
The following rules that we have or house rules that we have for this session. First is that please keep your microphone on mute, especially for the participants, so not to disturb and not to co-participants. Second is that we are encouraging everyone to maintain their cameras open to make this session more interactive. And third, of course, is to take notes of your questions or queries so you can ask them later during the question. So now let's proceed to the most exciting part, I guess, right? Exciting part to the lecture proper. So I will now going to be introducing the first lecturer. Our first lecturer had his master's degree at Universitas Negeri Semarang, Indonesia, and his doctoral degree at Universitas Sebelas Maret. I'm reading it correctly, Maret, Sukarata, Indonesia, on which he had a very interesting dissertation entitled Analysis of the Translation Practice and the Exposition Text of the Book, The 100 Most Questions About Love, Sex, and Relationships, a systematic functional linguistic approach to translation studies. He is also consistent in making research every year and is currently conducting research related to digital marketing. With his consistency and active pursuit in research, he currently has 4 published articles, scientific articles under his name, one of which is entitled, I hope I am going to read this right, Karakterisasi tokoh utama dalam novel Bumi Manusia Karya Pramedia Ananta Tuwer dalam versi bahasa Indonesia dan terjemahan dalam bahasa Inggris, This Earth of Mankind. I practice that. He's currently the subject of second language acquisition. This course studies systematic function grammar and translation. So with the arrow up the button at the bottom, let us now welcome on the spotlight Dr. Hafar Sadiq. Sir?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, good afternoon, the moderator. Before Dr. Asgun, Dr. Hartwell, and also Dr. Nurhidayat leave this session, I'd like to say hello to all of you, especially Dr. Hartwell. Yeah, once I went to Baguio with Dr. Nurhidayat, and I had a chance to visit your campus there. Well, it's such a big campus, and I think we are all proud to have such a big campus in the Philippines. I went there in 2019 before the pandemic time, and so it was good for me and for us to have the time to visit the Dimsu campus. Sir Jesus Rafael, hello. Once we met in Baguio. Dr. Nurhidayat, thank you for as the Director of International Affairs Office for the what we call it, for the opportunity for me to share my lecture on systemic functional grammar. Well, I I need some time, few minutes to prepare my share screen. All right, Pak Nur, can you see my slide?
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
very beautiful slides.
Beautiful blue, right? All right, Pak. Okay. Systemic functional grammar and English language teaching. Well, actually, I teach systemic functional grammar for the students in the third year. As we see in the first and second year, or in semester 1, 2, 3, and 4, the students in UPGRIS have taken grammar 1, grammar 2, grammar 3, and grammar 4, right? And now in semester 6, they are now in semester 6, or the end of the third year, they are taking systemic functional grammar, right? And this lecture, I think, is needed for the prospective teachers to know well about English, and so that they will equip them when they help students understand and also produce text, especially when the students have to consider in writing or in speaking the relationship between text and context, and the relation between language and the society. And so my topic is now we are going to talk about formal grammar in comparison with the systemic functional grammar, and also one aspect of the systemic functional grammar besides register analysis, and then also grammatical system or grammatical labels such as transitivity, mood system, and so also theme and rhyme, and also metafunction or analysis of metafunction. Yeah, these aspects of systemic functional grammars are given to my students for one semester. So we have 15 meetings, or 16 included the final test. In this time, about 40 or 45 minutes, I will share one of the aspects of the systemic functional grammar, which is hopefully beneficial for our students who are the prospective teachers, to help students, help their learners, English learners later, when they do the English language skills such as reading, listening, writing, and also speaking. And the last topic will be the contribution to the English language teaching. And this special moment, I'll relate the understanding of systemic functional grammar with the teaching of writing, writing text, especially descriptive text. All right. As a lecturer, I use two main textbooks for the reference for my students. One is Making Sense of Functional Grammar, written by Jared and Wignall, and also Working with Functional Grammar, written by Jim Martin and also Professor Christian Mathiesen. Yeah. All right, students, we are going to view the formal grammar. Yeah, the grammar so far, which you have been studying, you have been learning in semester 1, semester 2, 3, and 4. We call it basic grammar, intermediate grammar, and also pre-advanced grammar, and also advanced grammar. Yeah. We need to learn a grammar as a prospective teachers, as the students of the English language education study program. Yeah. In the past, when Pak Nur Hidayat and I studied together, there are five lectures on grammar, if I'm not mistaken. Five grammars. Five lectures on grammar. 6 lectures on writing. 6 lectures on reading comprehension. But now it seems to me that the materials or the lessons on grammar seems to be fewer than it was in the past. So because there are only grammar 1, grammar 2, and grammar 3, and grammar 4. Yeah. English grammar is one of the language elements needed, required to understand the English language. Grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation, and also pronunciation and spelling. Yeah, those 4 language elements are important. But concerning with using the language, language skills are more important, such as listening, writing, speaking, and also reading. All right, we need to know the theory of grammar because it helps us understand how text works. Yeah, for teachers, and for you, all the students who are prospective teachers, you need to know the theory of grammars because you will need them to help your students understand and produce text. Yeah, understand and produce text well or appropriately. Yeah. All right. Formal grammar. Yes, formal grammar, as the name implies, it is concerned with forms. Yeah, concerned with forms, and the type or the characteristics of the formal grammars is prescriptive. Yeah, it means that we use the rules or patterns according to the Latin language, and so we focus on rules for producing correct sentences. Yeah, concern to describe the structure of individual sentences. So when we see sentences number 1, 2, and 3, if we are concerned with formal grammar, right? We are concerned with formal grammar. So the question will be about the grammatical structures, such as the plural or singular markers. Yeah, plural markers, singular markers, subject-verb agreement, and also tenses. So you see, if I give you sentence number 1, clause number 1, the students learn the sentence patterns. So we are concerned with the plural markers. Students learn agreement between subject and predicate and the verbs. Oh yes, that's correct. And the sentence patterns. Yeah, there is definite article, the sentence patterns and plural marker. Yeah. What about sentence number 2? A man needs a woman. Well, a man needs a woman. Have a look at this clause. A man needs a woman. Yes, since the subject is a man, then the predicate or the verbs need the singular marker as, needs, and then a woman. Yeah. Okay. The sentence is grammatical. Yeah, the sentence is grammatical. We can also exchange the subject and the object here. For example, a woman needs a man, right? And we are not talking about what if there is no indefinite article a. Yeah, a man needs women. Yeah, we don't talk about the content or the relationship between the text and the context. between the language and also the social context or the genre of the text, right? Number 3, God created the universe. Yes, the concept about God creation happened in the past, and so we use the tense simple past here. God created the universe. Finish. Stop. Yeah, there is no relation with the present situation, and therefore we use simple past tense. Yeah. The case will be different if God has created the universe and then it is in the simple present future, simple present perfect, and so there is a relationship with the now situation. Yeah, that is the business in formal grammar. Right. Now, in functional grammar, which is descriptive in nature, yeah, we describe the language in actual use. Yeah, in actual use. So, how language functions to create meaning, how language functions to make meaning. Yeah, this is what we are learning in systemic functional grammar. So we view language as a resource for making meaning. So the focus is on text and their relations to the context. So we are not anymore talking about plural, singular, tenses, and then verb agreements. No, not because they are not needed, but because these are the prerequisites for us to learn the systemic functional grammar. Yeah, so structural grammar, which are many in English language, are supposed to have been mastered by all the students. So for my students in semester 6, I'm sure that all the students have mastered the concept of the grammar, so we do not review even the mastery of those grammatical structures. Yeah, our concern is on how the text relates to the context. Yeah, but of course we also concern on how those structures construct meaning. All right. Yes. Next, one of the important aspect in the study of the systemic functional grammar, as I mentioned in the first part of my lecture, is metafunctions. Yeah, the term metafunction originates from the systemic functional linguistics. So systemic functional linguistics, and then systemic functional grammar, and then we are talking about the exercises and the systemic functional grammar. So systemic functional grammar, which is derived from systemic functional linguistics, views language as functional and semantic rather than formal and syntactic, rather than the concern on the forms and also the syntax or the patterns of the sentence, right? Yes, it is said by Professor Martin and Mathiesen that all languages vary in how and what they do, but all are shaped and organized in relation to three functions. Yeah, three functions that every clause plays. Three functions that every clause in English plays. Yeah, since the functions are beyond the clauses, and so it is called metafunctions. Yeah, metafunction, function the language plays beyond the wordings. Yes. So, for example, sentence like "I love you." So we do not talk about subject I, and then verb love, and then object you, but we are concerned with what situation, what idea, what message, so that we represent the message into the clause like "I love you." Yeah, I love you. And Why subject I is put at the beginning, not you is in the first part. So you are loved by me. Yeah, those are the concern of the systemic functional grammar. All right. To talk about meta function, we first should know that clauses are the simplest units of analysis in systemic functional grammar. If we talk about plural or singular, and then talk about tenses, yeah, we talk about the elements or components of a clause. Yeah, but in systemic functional grammar, our simplest unit of analysis is clause, and then we go to larger construction like paragraph or clause complex. Yeah, first clause and then higher.
Think Dr. Sudan, Dr. Sudan.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I lost contact, and now I seem to be back.
Yes, sir, you're back.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Pak Dr. Ngasbun, can you see my slide?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Sabar.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's clear.
Thank you, Pak Ngasbun. Kuota
Use
habis,
up for
Pak.
several seconds ya.
Ya,
Use up for several seconds.
ya, kuota habis. Saya tadi pakai I use my own
Okay. Okay, Pak Joko.
mobile. Okay, all right. Yes. Interpersonal meaning, ideational meaning, and also textual meaning or meta function. All right. Yeah. Next. Yeah. Clause is the simplest unit of analysis, and each clause expresses or encodes three meanings simultaneously: interpersonal meaning, ideational meaning, and textual meaning. All right, I repeat. Our simplest unit of analysis in systemic functional grammar is clause, and every clause in English expresses three meanings simultaneously: interpersonal, ideational, and textual. Right? What is ideational meaning? What is interpersonal meaning? And what is textual meaning? Yeah, interpersonal meaning is concerned with what the speaker wants to do or wants to act with the text or clause, right? Yeah, that is called the interpersonal meaning. What the speaker or the writer wants to do with the text. Yeah, if we do something with our bodily organs, we are standing, we are clapping, we are running, we are working, walking, but with text we are informing, requesting, introducing, asking someone to do something, asking for information, yeah, thanking, complimenting, yeah, those are the interpersonal meaning, all right? Yeah, the second, ideational meaning is concerned with how text or clause represents the world experience of phenomena. Yeah, how the clause represents the idea. Yeah, yes, you see, the idea is about the happening. So someone is running, someone is walking, someone is sitting, someone is listening. Yeah, we represent the phenomena such as someone is walking, someone is running, someone is sitting into text. Yeah, all right, into text. If it is a habit, then the text should be in the present simple. If it is in progress, the text should be in the present continuous. And so the focus is on how the subject and then predicate and then object and then the situation. Subject, predication, and then situation or location. Yeah, so that is the business in ideational meaning. So if there is a text like this, my father is a teacher, it's an English teacher, and then we can express it or represent it into my father teaches English. Yes, the situation is that my father every day teaches English, so I express this in my father is an English teacher. Okay, all right? So whether you want to write my father is an English teacher or my father teaches English, yeah, it depends on the situation. Whether you want to talk about action or you want to talk about the fact. The fact is that my father is a teacher. Yeah, this is called ideational meaning of a clause. And then number 3, textual meaning is concerned with the organization of the text or clause. The organization of text or clause to relate to the context. So, for example, in a descriptive text, which is about my mother, so my mother should always be in the beginning. My mother, she is, her room is, what we put first and then next in the clause is the business of textual meaning, right? The organization of the clause of the text so that the text relate to the context relevantly. All right? If we talk about my father, so my father should be in front, in the beginning, should be put at the beginning of the clause. If it is a paragraph, should be put in the first sentence of the paragraph, all right? And then followed by another sentence or another clause. All right, this is the textual meaning of a text. So now let's see. Example clause 1. Example clause 1. Yeah, what does the speaker want to do in each of these clauses? Yeah, that is the business of interpersonal meaning, right? and has breakfast at 6. What does the writers want to say? And has breakfast at 6. Yes, the writer wants to give information. Give information. And so it is called statement, right? The interpersonal meaning is statement. What about text number 2? Does Anne have breakfast at 6? What is the speaker's intention when she writes, does Anne have breakfast at 6? Yes, the writer wants information. All right, the writer wants to get information. To get information, want to get information is called question, right? Yes. So the interpersonal meaning of clause number 2 is question, questioning. Okay. Number 3. Please have breakfast at 6. Please have breakfast at 6. What is the interpersonal meaning? All right. Yeah. Give instruction, ordering, commanding, giving instruction. And so this clause is called a command, an order, right? And the action is called ordering or commanding. All right. Number 4. Never eat more than 2 eggs a day. Never eat more than 2 eggs a day. What does the writer want to do with this text? All right. Yes. The writer asked someone not to do something. Asking someone not to do something. What is it called in English? If asking someone to do something is called requesting. If asking someone not to do something, in Indonesian language, melarang, larangan. What is in English? Come on. Come on. What is in English? Asking someone not to do something. Okay, yes, okay. Warning is okay, yeah. Reminding someone to do not to do something. Okay, so in the interpersonal meaning of clause number 4 is warning or reminding someone. All right. Now let's see. Let's go on to the second meta function, ideational meaning. Yes, the ideational meaning. See, do the pair of clauses express the same idea or message? My question is, do the pair of clauses here express the same idea or message or ideal meaning, ideational meaning? All right, let's see. Pair number 1. Anne has breakfast at 6. And eats breakfast at 6. All right. Are they about the same meaning? Yes. But you see, there is a difference in expressing, in representing about having breakfast, about eating breakfast between clause A and also clause B. All right. Then clause pair number 2. I speak Japanese at home. I speak Japanese at home. I speak Filipino at home. And compare with clause B. I use Japanese at home. Are they about the same meaning? Are they about the same meaning? Yes, I think so. But the representation of the idea about using English, using Japanese, using Filipino, or speaking Japanese, speaking Filipino makes it different. All right. So the additional meaning of clause 2A and clause 2B are different. Right. Now let's go on to number 3. Miss Lee is an English teacher. Miss Lee teaches English. All right. Yes. As with clause 1 and clause number 2, yeah, clauses number 1A and number 1B, and also number 2A and number 2B. Well, I think one is more appropriate than the other. All right. One is more appropriate than the other, and it is called appropriate or grammatical. Yeah, it is called appropriate, or in the terms of English grammar, it is called grammatical. So number 1A is more grammatical than B. All right, because native speaker of English will say has breakfast instead of eats breakfast. Yeah. Also, although the action is putting food into our mouth, is called eating, right? Yeah, it's called eating. But in English expression, in English representation, the more grammatical in systemic functional grammar is number 1A. Number 2A is also more grammatical than B. All right. And what about number 3? Which is more appropriate? Which is more grammatical in our business here? Well, it depends. It depends. There is the verb is here, and also the verb teaches in number 3B. In number 1, the clause uses to be, but in number 2, the clause uses verbs. All right, verb teaches, which is grammatical. In formal grammar, the 2 clauses are all grammatical, but in systemic functional grammar, it depends on the context. Yeah, the text should be related to the context. If there is a question, what is Miss Lee? And then the answer will be Miss Lee is an English teacher. But to the question, what does Miss Lee do? What does Miss Lee do? All right, Miss Lee teaches English. All right, but we still say or speak this idea about English teacher or English teaching with various construction in English, yeah, with various English construction. So, for example, when I ask you, what is Miss Lee? We can answer using B. Miss Lee teaches English. What does Miss Lee do? Miss Lee is an English teacher. But of course, one is more grammatical than the other. It depends on the context. If the context just now is what is it? The question. The context is the question. What is Miss Lee? And then 3A is more appropriate or more grammatical. All right. Now let's see the last meta function, textual meaning. Look at the pair of clauses here. Notice a difference in the topic or theme of each clause. The topic or theme of this clause. And it is the business of textual meaning. It is concerned with textual meaning. Good. Okay, number 1. Mom serves our breakfast early. Mom serves our breakfast early. Okay, mom is underlined. And so this is the theme of the clause. This is the topic of discussion, right? What about number 2? Our breakfast is served early by mom. Our breakfast is served early by mom. Well, I'm sure, yes, I'm certain that sentence clause A and clause B are about the same message, right? The same message, about the same meaning. Yes, it's about mom serves our breakfast, or our breakfast is served by mom. But in terms of textual meaning, the organization of the clause, we can say that A is more grammatical than B, depending on the context. Yeah, if we are talking about our mother, my mother is very diligent. She serves our breakfast every day, all right? Yeah. But if we talk about our mother, our mother, and then we produce clause B, our breakfast is served by my mom. Yeah, that is not grammatical, right? And the textual meaning or the textual meta function must be revised, all right? If we are talking about our mom, then mom should be put first in the clause. But if we talk about things at home, for example, my room, my bedroom, and then my bike, my breakfast is served by mom, all right? Yeah, so sentence B, clause B is more grammatical. Grammatical in the textual meaning or in the textual meta function. All right, now number 2, 2A. Japan makes Honda. B, Honda is made in Japan. Or in the context of the Philippines, Photon is manufactured in the Philippines. All right, the Philippines manufactures Photon. Is that correct, Miss Sintara? Yeah. All right. The Philippines makes Photon. Or clause B, Photon is made in the Philippines. Yeah. In formal grammar, the two clauses are grammatical, but in systemic functional grammar, one is not grammatical and the other is grammatical depending on the context. All right, depending on the context. If we talk about those countries like Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines, Germany, and then Italy and United States of America, they all make vehicles. Japan makes Honda, Italy makes Ferrari, all right? Yeah. America makes Ford, for example. Yeah, that is grammatical. But if we are talking about kinds of vehicle like Honda, Toyota, Ferrari, Suzuki is made in Japan. Honda is made in Japan. All right. Yeah, this is the example of textual meaning. Textual meaning is the organization of the text, which is put where. Yeah, which is put where. And the first part is called the theme or the topics of the clause. Okay, then number 2. The level of the clause is under the level of clause complex. And so the textual meaning is not only applied in the level of clause, but also on the level of clause complex and also on the level of paragraph and the higher construction. So as with clauses number 1, as with complex clause number 3A, I open the window because it is hot. All right. I open the window because it is hot. So you see, okay, you see, there is a clause at the beginning and another clause at the end, which is put in front or which is put at the beginning is the business of textual meta function. All right. I open the window because it is hot. Or number 2B or 3B, it is hot here, so I open the window. Yeah. It is hot here, so I open the window. If the context, yeah, so if the context is about the everyday situation or temperature or climate, so we say it is hot here, so I open the window. Huh? All right. If we talk about our daily activity, I open the window every day because it is hot here in Indonesia. And so, then clause complex number 1 is more grammatical than clause number 2. But if we talk about our climate here, clause 3B is more grammatical than clause 3A. All right. Okay, those are the discussion of meta functions. Those functions, 3 functions: interpersonal, ideational, and textual. Yeah, which a clause simultaneously expresses, which a clause encodes simultaneously at the same time. All right. Okay, is there any question? Hello, is there any question?
So, sir, there is no currently any posted question on the current section, but if anyone among our participants have any question, you can use again the chat box, or you can use the raise hand button we have here in the chat.
Okay.
There's no question yet.
Okay, no question. All right. Now let's, yes, well, actually, as a lecturer, Miss Sintara has a lecture, we will discuss in depth, right? Interpersonal meta functions, and then ideational meta function with their grammatical labels, grammatical system, and also textual meta function with the aspects and also the grammatical labels, right? But here, since we have only 45 minutes, all right, to Ms. Sintara, and so we will go on to the last part of our material, all right? Yeah. Okay, let's see a descriptive text here. Yeah, descriptive text here. All right, everybody, please look at this descriptive text. Yeah, descriptive text as a text to describe something, text to describe person, animal, to describe thing, to describe a place. And then we will see, we will analyze. Yeah, based on the meta function analysis that we have just been doing with those example clauses. Yeah, at the beginning of our slides. All right. Yes. Let's see this descriptive text. My bunny. I have a male rabbit. My bunny has 4 little cute feet. He likes to jump to my bed. His ears are long and they like to cover his chubby cheeks. His fur is brown. And unlike other rabbits, my bunny's favorite food is banana. Whenever I eat a banana, he will run and jump to me so he can take a bite. All right. I have a male rabbit. Yeah. My rabbit or my bunny has 4 little cute feet. He likes to jump to my bed. His ears are long and they like to cover his chubby cheeks. His fur is brown. And unlike other rabbits, my bunny's favorite food is banana. Whenever I eat a banana, he will run and jump to me and so he can take a bite. All right. Yeah. Let's do the analysis of the meta function. All right. Number 1, interpersonal meta function analysis. What the writer wants to do with the text. Since it is a descriptive text, it is sure that the writer wants to describe. Yeah, want to describe. This is a descriptive text, a text to describe persons, animals, things, or places. So, to describe, the clauses must be in declarative mood. Yeah, the clauses must be in declarative mood. Subject, finite, predication, complement, and agent. Yeah, have a look. Subject, predicator, complement. Subject, predicator, complement. Subject, predicator, complement. Yes, they are all in declarative or positive sentences. Yeah, because we want to describe something. If we want to discuss, then we compare. If we want to express opinion, we do it in exposition, right? But because it is descriptive text, so the writer wants to describe things here. Describe animal, describe my bunny. Okay? Yes, the simple present tense is used to describe condition, facts, or habits. Yeah, facts or habits or usual condition, and then we use the simple present tense. Okay, yeah, simple present tense because it is a description. All right, that is the interpersonal meta function analysis. What about ideational meta function? Okay, now let's see several clauses here. He likes to jump to my bed. He likes to jump to my bed. The same clause you can say, he often jumps to my bed. He usually jumps to my bed. You see, instead of likes to jump, we can use he often jumps to my bed. Okay, he often jumps to my bed is the same with he likes to jump to my bed. What about number 2? His ears are long. Well, actually in English, you can say he has long ears. Yeah, that is more English. Yeah, that is more English. Then his ears are long. Yeah, you see when you describe yourself, my hair is black instead of I have black hair. Her hair is blonde instead of she has blonde hair. Which is correct in English? All right. The second sentence or the second clause is correct grammatically. Grammatical in ideational meta function. All right. Yes. These 2 clauses are grammatical, but in systemic functional grammar, one is more grammatical than the other. All right. What about next clause? My bunny's favorite food is banana. Okay, using is here. Yeah, this clause uses is here. Or we can say this. Yeah. My bunny likes banana very much. Okay. Yeah. Instead of using is, you can use likes, which has the same or similar meaning. My bunny's favorite food is banana. My bunny likes banana very much. Okay, then the last one. Yeah, okay, for example, so he can take a bite or he can bite a bit. Well, I think the first clause is more grammatical in English in terms of ideational meaning, ya. Yang pertama ini lebih grammatical daripada yang kedua karena this is normally said or this is normally written by native speaker of English. So ideational meaning is similar to what the native speakers of English normally write or normally say. Okay, the last one, textual metafunction. The last one, textual metafunction analysis, how the text is organized or what of which is put where. Okay, the theme is my bunny. So all clauses describe about the bunny. My bunny, he, his, they, yeah, their ears, they. So all are about my bunny. So in terms of textual metafunction analysis, my bunny or the pronoun of bunny such as he or the possessive his must be put at the beginning of the clauses in the text. Okay, then there is a connection between clauses. Yeah, there is a connection between clauses. Okay, look at this. If we make the text into sentences in number one, I have a male rabbit. Number two, my bunny has 4 little cute feet. Number three, he likes to jump to my bed. Number four, his ears are long, and so on until number 10. Every clause in each text are connected to each other. Yeah, there is a connection between clauses. Using apa? What? Using conjunction and, whenever, or so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is called textual metafunction analysis. Well, I hope if everybody, all of you can do the analysis of metafunction to the student work, to students writing work, for example, well, I think your students can produce better text, right? Yeah, that's all for my lecture this afternoon. Thank you, Ms. Sitara. Yeah.
Terima kasih atas yang luar biasa Dr. Hafar. Very much for the reminder that contextual metafunction analysis can also be done for students first. Of course, I said the bunny is monkey and not a bunny. So again, for the
Okay.
lecture, remind everyone that if you have note of the section or utilize the raise hand button later during our Q&A session. So I think we are now also ready to listen to our second equally competent speaker. So let me introduce to you our second speaker, who is also, after Hafar, very competent, had a graduate degree on Masters of Arts in Education and a postgraduate degree on Doctor of Education. He is also currently taking his second postgraduate degree on Philosophy and Language Teaching. He also presented the research paper at national and international conferences that have several published articles in journals under his name. He uh, has 6 published books on subjects such as English for academic purposes, purposive communication, text with text in English, and is now and has served as frequent speakers at national and international conferences, seminars, trainings. He also serves or currently is serving as the Director of International Cross-Cultural Exchange and Professional Development, Thailand, and current Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University Mid-La Union campus. So again, with your react button, let us now welcome on the spotlight Dr. Hartwell Norma M. Maruza. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, Ma'am Sintara. Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible, Ma'am Sintara. I'm
Yes.
Yes,
audible.
sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Audible.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for your lecture, Dr. Jafar. I hope we
Thank
can
you.
get a copy of your presentation so
Yeah,
that we
okay.
can also share that to our students later on. Thank
Okay.
you so much. It was a very informative discussion about, of course, a grammar with Dr. Jafar. Thank you so much, Dr. Jafar. Okay.
You are welcome,
So
sir.
I'll be discussing. Okay, thank you, sir. So I'll be discussing today something like I'll check my presentation first. Okay, so I'll be discussing something, probably it's not new to others, but I want to acclimatize some students and teachers, especially our English teachers, with regard to my presentation today. So I was given only 45 minutes, so I will try my best to give you the 45 minutes, because even Dr. Jafar would say that the 45 minutes is not enough, right, Sir Jafar? So, however, we will try our best. I will try my best regarding my presentation. So this, I'm sharing now my presentation. Okay. Is it visible now, Ma'am Sitara? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Thank
sir,
you so
Yes, sir.
much.
It is.
Okay. So I am Hartwell Norman Mirza, the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences here in Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, Mid-La Union campus. So I'll be discussing to you this topic, embracing the change, acclimatizing ASEAN Englishes. So some would pronounce that one as ASEAN, ASEAN, Asian, whatever is the pronunciation, as long as you know it, that's correct. Okay, so embracing the change, acclimatizing ASEAN Englishes. So the scope of our discussion for this hour is that what is ASEAN or what is ASEAN? And then the second one, I'll be introducing to you about world Englishes. So unlike before, we do not pluralize the word English, but now we are pluralizing it already because we have a lot of Englishes already. Okay, unlike before. Okay, next we have ASEAN Englishes. So what is ASEAN Englishes or ASEAN Englishes? And then fourth, I'll be giving you a glimpse about Indonesian English. Probably some of our Indonesian friends there, our teachers, our language learners, know a little bit about the Indonesian English, or you know more about the Indonesian English. And of course, I'll be discussing a little bit of the Philippine English. So you brace yourself for 45 minutes. I'll be discussing these 5 topics, okay? So the first one is, let's try to define what is ASEAN. So what is ASEAN or ASEAN? So stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So it's an acronym. It is a regional intergovernmental organization consisting of 10 member countries in Southeast Asia. So originally there are 10, but now there are more than 10 already. Okay, so originally we have Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. So Philippines and Indonesia are part of this ASEAN. So it was founded on August 8, 1967 with the signing of the Bangkok Declaration. So it happened in Thailand before. So these are the different flags of the ASEAN nation. So that's ASEAN. And we are all part of this one. Okay. Let's go to the next. So I am presenting you today World Standard English by MacArthur in 1987. So actually, in 1987, we already have the circle of world Englishes or world English, meaning we don't have, it's not about American English anymore. It's not just about British English anymore, but we have a lot of Englishes already. Okay, wait, I have to go back there. Okay, so World Standard English. So as you can see, by region, we have Englishes. Like we have the East Asian Standardizing English. We're in Philippine English, or Philippine English is here. We have Singaporean English. And then we also have the South Asian Standard English, wherein you can find here the Sri Lankan English, the Burmese English, the Indian English. And we have there the Australian or New Zealand and South Pacific Standard English. So composed of the following: New Zealand, Australia, okay. And then we have there, still on the right part, we have the British and Irish Standard English. Of course, you know, Prince Charles was given the coronation already. So they are part of this British Irish Standard English. We have from the Scottish English, British English, the BBC, more or less the United Kingdom English. And then we have the very popular, the American Standard English. So from South to Northern, the Black English vernacular, everything is in there. We also have the Canadian English. We have the Caribbean Standard English. And the last one here, we have the West, East, and Southern African Standardizing English. So as you can see here, it's not just about the focus on the British English, but not on the British English, not on the American English, but it focuses on different Englishes. So don't say that my English as an American is the standard way. No, don't tell that anymore, because we are embracing this change, and this change is to accept other Englishes. Okay, so let's continue. So this is the 3 concentric circles of Englishes. Okay, when you say concentric Englishes, circles of Englishes, how English was managed to be spoken by a certain country or race. So in the inner circle below it, when you say inner circle, we have the USA, the UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. More or less, it is their first language. That's why they are called the inner circle. Their first language is English. And in the outer circle, we have here Bangladesh, Kenya, Pakistan, Philippines, Malaysia, and other countries here. This is their second language. Okay. And then we have the expanding circle. Okay. When you say expanding circle, meaning these countries are still trying to embrace English, although they already embrace English, but not totally yet. Okay, so we have China, Indonesia is part here, Korea, including South and North Korea. We have Egypt, Nepal, and Taiwan, and other countries there. So let's try to check the differences here. Okay, let's go to the next slide. We have here the inner circle consists of countries where English is their primary language. That's why it's called inner. Okay, inner circle. Okay, meaning a large portion of their population used English as their medium of communication, not just in teaching, but even in a daily conversation. Okay, and English in this inner circle has developed its own norms and standards, and it is used as a medium of instruction in education, government, and other official settings. So as you can see, even their traffic signs and symbols, even when they speak, even when they go to a certain place, they use English. That's for the inner circle. But for the outer circle, consists of countries where English has been institutionalized as a second language due to their historical and colonial reasons. The reason probably is that they were colonized by the inner circle countries. That's why it became their second language. So these countries include India, Pakistan, Singapore, Philippines. Philippines was colonized by the Americans. That's why we were influenced and we were able to adopt their language, which is English. And it is now our second language. Okay, even some Filipinos right now, their first language is already English. Okay, and then we have the expanding circle here. It consists of countries where English is learned as a foreign language. It's English as a foreign language, and it is used primarily as a means of international communication. So it includes communicating via business, through economics, and other things. That's why South Koreans come here, Thais come here in the Philippines. They want to learn English, because even Japanese, they really want to learn English because it is needed for internationalization and also for business. Okay. So what is ASEAN Englishes or Asian Englishes? So there are different varieties of English that are spoken in ASEAN region, okay? And these varieties of English have been shaped by the unique cultural and linguistic context of each country. So because of this linguistic and cultural influence, they created their own Englishes. And it includes vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. So because of the influence of the culture of that certain country, and because of its linguistic context, they came up with their own English. Although there's still touch of American or British English, but because of their linguistic and cultural influence, they came up with their English or Englishes. Okay. So here are some examples of ASEAN Englishes. So we have here the Singlish. Actually, when you say Singlish, it's Singaporean English, the combination of Singaporean language and the English language. So this variety of English incorporates vocabulary and grammar from Chinese, Malay, and Tamil, as well as unique colloquial expressions. That's for Singlish. And then we have the Manglish, spoken in Malaysia. So combination of Malaysia and English, so Manglish. It includes vocabulary and grammar from Malay, Chinese, and Indian languages, as well as local slang. So they have their own local slang. I think most of the countries, they have their own local slang or local dialects. Okay, we have the Taglish. We have here in the Philippines, or we call it the Philippine English. Taglish is a mixture of the English and Tagalog. Okay, Taglish. Okay, Thai English, of course, spoken in Thailand, incorporates Thai language and culture using Mai Pen Rai. When you say Mai Pen Rai, no problem or never mind, in place of you're welcome. Instead of saying you're welcome, they will say Mai Pen Rai. Okay, so it's their own English version already. And then we have the fifth one. We have the Vietlish, of course, Vietnam. So it incorporates Vietnamese vocabulary into English sentences. We have the Konglish. Okay, Konglish spoken in South Korea. Okay, Filipinos, they love Koreans. Okay, Konglish is a combination of South Korean language and the English language. That's why an example of Konglish is that in English it's pizza, but for them pija, P-I-J-A. So see, they got the word pija from the English word pizza, and they converted that one into Konglish, which is pija. Okay. Next, number 7, we have the Brunei English, spoken in Brunei. This variety of English incorporates Malay vocabulary as well as Arabic loan words. When you say loan words, the one that I gave a while ago, an example, meaning we get a word from the English and then you created a new word of it, Okay, and that's a loan word. Okay, Cambodian English spoken in Cambodia, of course, by, I hope I pronounce this well, Khmer vocabulary and sentence structures. We also have Laotian English from Laos, and then for them, excuse me, it has a more relaxed and informal tone. Okay, unlike for American accent and British accent, you can see in the British accent, like just like Harry Potter, they have this kind of accent, right? Compared to American English. But for Laotian English, they have an informal and relaxed way of speaking. Okay, and then we have the Burmese English spoken in Myanmar. Burmese English incorporates Burmese syntax and vocabulary and often uses direct translations from Burmese expressions. I will not be discussing all of this thoroughly, but I'm just giving you a glimpse. Okay. 11, we have the Hinglish from India. Okay. Also heard parts of the ASEAN with Indian communities. So Hinglish is a blend of the Hindi and of course the English. And we have the Indo-English. Indonesian, okay, of course, incorporates with the English in terms of the grammar, distinct pronunciation and intonation. That's why I hope I can give you a good lecture with regard to Indonesian English later on, based on my research and based on some of the researches, okay? So what are some key characteristics of ASEAN Englishes? So the first one is the vocabulary. Okay, they are characterized as unique vocabulary. Why? Because it came from local languages like the Malay, the Tagalog, the Thai, the Vietnamese, and the Indonesian. And with this combination of these unique local languages, they blend with the English language, okay, and produced a distinct and vibrant language. Okay, and in terms of pronunciation, there is a big difference in terms of pronunciation. You might pronounce this word in the American English, but it would be different if you pronounce this one in, of course, the Philippine English or in the Indonesian English. Okay, so the pronunciation of ASEAN Englishes can vary greatly depending on the speaker's first language. So what's the first language of the speaker? Okay, it will depend. Okay, so for example, speakers of Thai and Vietnamese may have difficulty pronouncing certain English sounds, just like the V and the TH. TH could be the very hard the, or the very soft th. Okay, resulting in substitutions or emissions. That's why when they speak, sometimes they do not pronounce anymore the V and the TH because it's hard for them to pronounce, because their first language, okay, does not have such kind of English sounds. Okay, these are just some of the key characteristics of ASEAN Englishes. Okay, just like for example, in the American English, it is pronounced as indigent. Okay, but in the Philippines, they pronounce that one as indigent already. Okay, so these are some examples. This is just an example. Okay, another characteristic of ASEAN English is the grammar. Okay, in general, ASEAN Englishes follow the standard rules of English grammar. Basically, the subject-verb agreement. It was discussed to you by Dr. Jafar a while ago. But there are some exemptions. So, for example, in some countries, it is common to use the present continuous tense to express future events. As in, I am going to the market tomorrow. Okay, so they will say, I am going to the market tomorrow, but some, they would say, I will go to the market, okay, tomorrow. Okay, so there's still a difference there in terms of the grammar. Okay, and we also have the code switching. ASEAN Englishes are often mixed with local languages or dialects, resulting in code switching. When we say code switching, from the English language, you code switch it to your local language. So from English, automatically you're gonna, after that, speaking the English, you code switch that Philippine words already, or Indonesian word. That's code switching. Okay, and this is a common phenomenon in Southeast Asia where people may use multiple languages in the same conversation. So they code switch first Philippine language, and then they code switch it to English, and then Philippine English again, or Indonesian language, and then English language. So code switching. This is one way for us to express ourselves, and the best way to explain, we use code switching. Okay. Next, we have number 5, use of honorifics. I'm sorry. Respect and hierarchy are important in many ASEAN cultures. Okay, and this is reflected in the use of honorifics in English. For example, in Malaysia and in Singapore, it is common to address someone as uncle or auntie as a sign of respect. Here in the Philippines, we say po or opo. In South Korea, they have their own formal and informal language also. Okay, so use of honorifics. Okay, I do not know much in the Indonesian language. How what kind of words they use as a sign of respect? Probably you can put that in the chat box so that we could know. And then English as a lingua franca. English is often used as a common language between speakers of different local languages. This has led to the development of a unique form of English that is influenced by the local languages and the cultures of the region. I told you a while ago that because of the influence of the culture, okay, it changes the linguistic part of the language itself. Okay. Next, we have their Indonesian English. Okay. So what is all about this Indonesian English? Okay. Indonesian English is a type of English that has been influenced by the Indonesian language and culture. It is commonly spoken in Indonesia, obviously, where English is not the primary language, but it is widely used as a second language already. Indonesia, I believe, is trying already to be part of the, not of the expanding already, they want to be part already of the outer circle, okay, of the Englishes, okay. Indonesian English can be identified by its unique vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. So for example, Indonesian English speakers may use words and phrases that are not commonly used in standard English, such as bole, I hope I pronounce it well, bole, meaning allowed or permitted, or tidak apa-apa, meaning no problem or it's okay. In Thai a while ago, may panray, right? Meaning no problem, no worries. Okay. But for the Indonesian English, they have the tidak apa-apa. Okay. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Okay. So pronunciation in Indonesian English may also be influenced by the sounds of the Indonesian language. And for example, some Indonesian English speakers may pronounce V as F or W as V. Okay. Next, we have here, the Indonesian English is a result of the contact between the English language and the Indonesian language due to Indonesia's colonial past and its current status as a major player in international trade and tourism. English has become an important language in their country. So Indonesian English has developed a means of communication among Indonesians who speak different regional languages and dialects, and also as a way to communicate with foreigners. There are a lot of foreigners, there are a lot of visitors there in Indonesia. So the use of the English language is very, very essential for them. And they use it for international trade and tourism. Okay. One interesting aspect of Indonesian English is its use of loan words from Indonesia. So meaning we got some Indonesian words, English language adopted some Indonesian words, okay, loan words. And here are some of the examples. We have the bazaar, okay. We use this one already in the English language. It's already in the Merriam Dictionary. It's already in the Cambridge Dictionary. So the bazaar meaning market. We also have the batik. It's a type of traditional Indonesian fabric. And we have the aklung, a traditional Indonesian musical instrument. They are already part of the English language. These are the loan words, okay, came from the Indonesian language or in the Indonesian English. Next, we also have the next one. So Indonesian English also has its own unique slang and idiomatic expressions. So for example, sudah makan, so meaning have you eaten? Okay, is a common greeting in Indonesian English, reflecting the importance of food in Indonesian culture. So they really give importance to their food because it's part of their culture. Similarly, the word ajaib, meaning amazing or incredible, is often used as an exclamation in Indonesian English. So ajaib, every one of you, you are ajaib. Okay, so pronunciation in Indonesian English can vary depending on the speaker's background and level of proficiency in English. Some speakers may have a wrong Indonesian accent, while others may have a more standard English pronunciation. That's why some of the English teachers, they are very, very strict in terms of pronunciation. I myself, I'm quite strict in terms of pronunciation. However, because of these Englishes, we already accepted some of the pronunciation of words, okay? And we have to put that in the minds of our English teachers and into the minds of our language English learners and even non-English learners with regard to world Englishes. Okay. So there are several differences between Indonesian English and other Englishes. What is something unique about the Indonesian English? The first one is the vocabulary, the use of loan words, the one that I told you a while ago, the use of aklung and batik, okay? And then we have the grammar. In Indonesian English often follows different rules of grammar than other English varieties. So for example, we have here the double negatives are commonly used in Indonesian English, okay? Whereas they are considered incorrect in the American English. It's incorrect if you're going to use the double negatives, okay? So additionally, Indonesian English may use different tenses and verbs, such as the use of have been instead of was for past continuous tense. So they interchange sometimes the have been and the was, okay? Next, we have here the pronunciation, okay? Indonesian English pronunciation may be influenced by the sounds of their Indonesian language, resulting to differences in vowel and consonant sounds. For example, the Indonesian R sound may be pronounced differently than in other languages. They can be pronounced as R, okay, and other versions of R, depending, of course, on their local language and their first language. And we respect that one. I believe that we should respect the pronunciation, the accent of other Englishes. And that is the one importance of embracing world Englishes. Okay. Fourth one is the idiomatic expressions. So Indonesian English has its own unique idiomatic expressions that may not be commonly used in other English varieties. So for example, the one that I told you a while ago, tidak apa-apa, so no problem and it's okay. So this is one unique, okay, expression from the Indonesian English. number 5, the spelling. Okay, so Indonesian English spelling may differ from other Englishes. We have, for example, here the word color. It is spelled as C-O-L-O-U-R. There's a U there. But in the American English, it's C-O-L-O-R. The C-O-L-O-U-R, British English. But for the C-O-L-O-R, that's for the American English. But in the Indonesian English, spelled as K-O-L-O-R. Okay, Indonesian English. Okay, and then we have the sentence structure. So Indonesian English may use different sentence structures. Like, for example, Indonesian English may use the word already at the end of the sentence to indicate completion, as in, I have finished already. That's for the Indonesian English. But in other Englishes, they put the word already in the middle. I have already finished. That's for other Englishes. But for the sentence structure in the Indonesian English, they put the word already at the last part of the sentence. See, that's one unique characteristic of Indonesian English. And we also have number 7, the register. Indonesian English may have different levels of formality and politeness than other English languages or English varieties, reflecting the cultural norms of Indonesia. So Indonesian language may use honorifics and formal language in business and academic settings. That's why Indonesians, they really have a high respect to their elders, to their supervisors, to their teachers, to their bosses. Whereas informal language may be used in casual conversations. So, overall, with regard to Indonesian English, is that Indonesian English is a distinct variety of English that reflects the cultural and linguistic influences of Indonesia. You know what? The combination of culture and language combined as one changes its linguistics and come up with this Indonesian English. It's very abundant. It's very nice. So while it may differ in vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and idiomatic expressions from other English varieties, it is still a valid and functional means of communication. I would like to emphasize that one. It is still a valid and functional means of communication. Do not disregard the Indonesian English. Do not disregard their vocabulary, the use of their grammar, their idiomatic expressions, their pronunciation. Do not disregard, because it is a valid and functional means of communication. So it's important to know that Indonesian English, like any other variety of English, is constantly evolving. That's why Indonesian learners and teachers are conducting a lot of researches, published researches with regard to Indonesian English and world Englishes. It is evolving and changing over time. So as Indonesia continues to grow and develop as a global player, its influence on English is likely to continue to grow as well. So leading to further differences and variations in Indonesian English compared to other Englishes. You have your own variety of English. That's Indonesian English. Embrace it, use it, and it's valid. Okay? Next. We are done with the Indonesian English. Now, I'll give you also a glimpse with regard to Philippine English. Okay? I know some of my students here already have an idea about the Philippine English. So, Philippine English, part of the outer circle of Caro's model of world Englishes. So, it is the language used by Philippines. Actually, this is a new term. Philippines is the neutral term for Filipino or Filipina. Okay, Filipino is a boy, Filipina is a girl, but if you want it to be neutral term, we call it Philippines. Okay, in controlling domains such as science and technology, the judiciary, the legislature, bureaucracy, higher education, scholarly discourse, and the like. Our Constitution is written in English. Our signs and symbols, traffic signs here are all in the English language. Okay, so English is already part of our everyday conversation. Okay, whether you are inside the school or outside the school. Okay, but in terms of pronunciation, when you say Philippine English, it has 5 vowel sounds, the same with the American English with the A, E, I, O, and U. However, some Filipinos tend to pronounce the A sound as a diphthong, making it sound like A, like E. Okay, but in the American English, there are a lot of A sound. Okay. Also, for consonants, Philippine English tends to pronounce the V and the F sounds the same. So the F, they pronounce that one as V. Okay. Instead of Philippines, Philippines. Okay. Additionally, the TH sound is often pronounced as D or T. For example, this may be pronounced as this or tis. Okay, this is, instead of these, they pronounce that one as this. Okay, see the pronunciation in the Philippine English. Okay, next, we also have the intonation. Philippine English has a rising intonation at the end of declarative sentences. Remember, in the American English, you go down in terms of intonation if it's a declarative sentence. Like, for example, my name is Hartwell Norman Mirza. I go down at the end of the sentence, my tone. But for some, in the Philippine English, my name is Hartwell Norman Mirza. You go up. Okay. That's for the Philippine English in terms of intonation. Okay. So when you ask questions, you go up, especially if it's answerable by yes or no, a categorical question. Okay, you go up. Are you okay? They go up. Okay, but in the Philippines, they go down. Are you okay? Are you sure? Okay, instead of going up. Okay, so that's the intonation in the Philippine English. Another one is Philippine English is rhotic. When you say rhotic, the local R is an alveolar flap, not an American English retroflex. So meaning in the American English, they pronounce the R, water. Okay. But in the Philippines, water. They kind of prolong it. Okay. And then it is a syllable timed following the rhyme of the local languages. Full value is therefore given to unstressed syllables, and a little bit of schwa is usually realized as a full vowel. So certain polysyllables have distinctive stress patterns. For those who are done with their phonology, you know this one. Just like this one, eligible instead of eligible. The pronunciation in the Philippine English is eligible. And then establish instead of establish. And when you have there ceremony, that's for the Philippine English. But in the American English, ceremony. Okay, see the difference in terms of the pronunciation. We also have the intonation is widely characterized as sing-song. When you say sing-song, they go up, they go down. So when they speak, they go up. My name is Hartwell Norman Mirza. How about you? Oh, really? And then this one, they go up, they go down. It's as if they are singing. Okay. Next, educated Filipinos aim at an American English accent. Some educated Filipinos, they try to imitate the American accent, but have varying success with the vowel contrast, just like this one. Sheep, ship. But for the Philippine English, they will just say sheep and ship, as if there's no difference. Fool, full, fool. But for the Philippine English, full, full. Okay, and then boat, bought. But for them, the same, bought, bought. Okay, few Filipinos have the AE sound. Unlike in the American English, they pronounce this one as mask. But for Filipinos, mas. Instead of using the a, they use the, just like this one, father. They use a, father. Okay. But in the American English, they pronounce this one as mask. AE sound. Just like the word black, B-L-A-C-K, black. It's pronounced in the American English. But in the Philippine English, black. Okay. So the distinction between the S, Z, okay, and the CH, okay, there, and the TH is not made, okay, just like this one. They will pronounce this one as azure, azure, instead of azure, pleasure, okay? But in the Philippines, they will say pleasure, okay? What about this one? Seize, instead of seize the day. But this one, cars, instead of cars, okay? Interdental are often rendered as T and D, so that three of these is spoken as three of these. Instead of pronouncing that one as three of these, they will pronounce this one as three of these. That's Philippine English, okay? Now, in terms of the grammar, there are some English words used differently in the Philippines. Just like the word chancing, chancing is like more on a sexual, there's a sexual interaction there. But if you check in the dictionary of chancing, is a different one. Eat all you can. Only in the Philippines that we have the eat all you can. Okay, even the word salvage. Salvage is killing in the Philippine English, but if you check in the dictionary, it's a different meaning. Okay, even the word live in, only in the Philippines that we use live in, bed space, double deck, comfort room. In the Philippines, we call it comfort room. When I went to Thailand, they call it toilet. Okay, and we also have the boodle fight. When you say boodle fight, all the food are on the table, and then all of you will eat there simultaneously. Okay, using your hand. Okay. That's the boodle fight. So meaning we are using this kind of words differently in the Philippines, and that's Philippine English. Okay. Even this one, with regards, the Philippines, they put S, but in the American English, it should be with regard. Okay. Even the word feedback, we put S there, but actually, in the American English, we do not put their S, feedback only. That's the plural and singular form. Even the word equipments, okay, in the Philippines, we use S, okay, but in other Englishes, equipment only, okay. We also have the on behalf of, in behalf of, okay. You use on behalf of if you are representing a certain organization or a group of people. But in behalf of, you are representing a certain organization or group of people by trying to help and giving donations or giving services. So that's the difference between on behalf of and in behalf of. Okay. We have there dirty kitchen. Only in the Philippines that we have the word dirty kitchen. Can you go to the dirty kitchen? Okay, and we use also this dirty ice cream. You see dirty ice cream, the vendor selling ice cream along the street. Okay, we call that dirty ice cream. Although it's not dirty. Okay, but I'm not really sure if it's dirty or clean. Okay, and we also have the high blood. We use high blood if the person is very angry. Okay, and we use the word nosebleed. We use nosebleed, not literally that your nose is bleeding, but we say nosebleed if the person you're speaking with always use the English language every now and then, and you cannot go through with the conversation because you are quite intimidated, and you say, nosebleed, I am not able to get the meaning of your sentence. Okay. Now, in terms of vocabulary and idioms, we have some loans or loan words from Spanish. So we have the asalto, meaning surprise party, bienvenida, because Philippines was colonized also by the Spaniards for more than 300 years. That's why there are a lot of Spanish words that we adopted in the Philippine language. So we have despedida, we call it farewell party. We have plantilla for faculty assignments. And then we have the viand, okay, a dish, okay. We also have loan words from Tagalog or Filipino words. The word bondok, from the word bundok in the Philippine language, it means the mountain. The Carabao came from the Calabao, and then the water buffalo, or we call it the water buffalo. And then Kundiman is a love song, which is already part of the English language. And then we have the Sampalok from the word Sampalok with a K. And then we have the fruit, which is the fruit tamarind. And we have the Taoman, meaning common tao or common people. Okay. Now, what about in terms of code switching? Okay, so a register has developed for rapport and intimacy that depends on code mixing and code switching. When we say code mixing, you mix the two languages, the Philippine language and the English language. You mix it. Or code switching, the first one would be Philippine language and then American English, and then later on American English, or later on Philippine English. It is largely confined to Metro Manila. Manila City is the capital of the Philippines, and it's an urbanized city, and extensively used in motion pictures and in television, and even in the different types of informal writing in daily newspapers and weekly magazines. In some magazines and newspapers already in the Philippines, they use the Philippine English and they use code mixing and code switching. Just like, for example, here, Pexman, meaning she swears, wala pang nangyayari sa amin ni Marlon. Meaning, cross my heart, she swears, nothing yet has happened between Marlon and me. So from the movie gossip column. So meaning there is already code switching there and code mixing. Okay. And then we have some issues and concerns with regard to the use of the Indonesian English and the Philippine English. Okay. I think I still have time, Ma'am Sintara. I believe so. Okay. So comparison of other Englishes. The problem now with the world Englishes, we have the Indonesian English, we have the Philippine English, and other Englishes, is that the inferiority and superiority of Englishes. Okay, other Englishes might say, we should be the one there at the top because we are at first, the American English or the British English. This is now an issue, okay, of inferiority and superiority of Englishes. Another one is the colonial mentality. When you say colonial mentality, it's in our mind that, they are Americans, American English, they are much higher than us. So that's our mentality. And it's an issue. Attitude toward Indonesian English or Philippine English. What do you mean by this one? I will connect that one in the fourth here, acceptance. What's our attitude with regard to Indonesian English and Philippine English? Do we embrace it totally? Are we embracing it totally? Are we informing others about this Indonesian English and Philippine English? Are we accepting it? Because if we do not accept this one, how can we be able to put into the map about Indonesian English and about Philippine English? I think it's high time that we put into the map of the world about the Indonesian English and the Philippine English. That's why we are also having this kind of webinar to inform others. And we conduct researches about this one. And you know what? There are already journals, World Englishes journals, Asian journals, Asian Englishes journals, meaning they are accepting researches about Englishes. And another issue and concern here is research publication. If we're going to use the if we're going to use the Indonesian English or the Philippine English, sometimes they reject our research article, maybe because it's not in their standard way of English. So maybe because the publisher are from Europe or from the USA, of course, they will use they prefer American English and British English. So this is an issue in the research publication. So as a conclusion, I think I am in my second to the last slide, or probably the third to the last slide. Conclusions. The use of ASEAN Englishes is an important aspect of language diversity and cultural identity in the region. They reflect the complex linguistic and cultural histories of the Asian countries and are often used as a marker of national and regional identity. I want to emphasize this one, marker of national and regional identity. Indonesian English, that's your identity. Philippine English, that's your identity. However, the use of ASEAN Englishes can also present challenges in communication, particularly the one that I told you a while ago, international context, where standard English is often used as a lingua franca. Others, they only accept British English and American English. So those are some issues. So it is important for speakers of Asian Englishes to be aware of these differences and to develop an effective communication strategies that take into account the linguistic and cultural nuances of their English varieties. The use of ASEAN or ASEAN Englishes reflects the diversity and complexity of language. We have a diverse, rich, abundant culture in our region. Let's try to highlight it. Highlights the importance of embracing linguistic diversity in our globalized world. Let's put in the map that we have these Englishes, the Indonesian English and the Philippine English. With that, terima kasih. Thank
Terima
you.
kasih.
Salamat.
Sama-sama.
Maraming salamat for I want to say the idea of but you have a really wonderful research. I remember one time when I was saying the word not pertaining to notice. Yeah, so now I can see the reason why they've been pronouncing notice as not that very lecture. Again, thank you very much. Just to, so what's on then is already on the spot so that you can have your attendance for this fee. So we will be using that to give you your certificate. So now that we're also done with the second lecture, we are now going to open the Q&A session for this lecture. Do we have questions or maybe some clarifications or theories from our audiences? I'm going to check if someone ends or partners to me on your talk, or you can raise your hand if you have questions for both of our lecturers. Do we have any questions? Okay, I don't think we have any questions. Sir, would it be okay if you also give your presentation to us, sir, so that for those who wanted to have your presentation, we can also give them. If it is okay. If it is okay. Okay, anyway, so thank you very much again, Dr. Mirza and Dr. Jafar. I'm going to pronounce your name right now.
You're welcome.
Jafar has been saying how far earlier, so from the lesson of Sir Mirza, yes. I think I'm going to shift on to my Indonesian English. So, terima kasih, Dr. Jafar, and thank you very much,
Terima
Dr.
kasih.
Mirza.
Salamat.
Terima kasih banyak.
Salamat, Dr. Jafar. Salamat.
Terima kasih, Hartwell. Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
We've already actually the end of this first session. So please use the reaction button that we have on the bottom of the screen to express our gratitude and appreciation for all the speakers. I'm going to give them, of course, my heart reaction. So thank you very much again. So for again, as a reminder, please fill in the attendance link that we have on our chat box the correct spelling of your full name. Okay. And as a reminder for everyone, this is only the first series for this series, first session. We are going to have the next session, which is session 2, next week, with topics on phonological awareness and digital literacy and the language of new age media. So I guess we are still going to see our 100 plus participants next week. So if we don't have any more or any more questions, that's the end for the first session. For the next just read again the title of our seminar, which is quite long, for our international lecture series on English Education Studies Program and Language Department. Again, this is Miss Para Gandhi, the Advenicula, your host and moderator for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. God bless everyone.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants. Thank you, Ma'am Sintara. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, for the first one, and before you use this Zoom meeting, please check on the attendance person link on that. So I'll see you again on our next session.
Thank you, Ma'am Sindara. Thank you, Dr. Hartwell. Thank you, Pak Jafar.
Thank you, ma'am.
Terima kasih, Dr. Sik.